Hi, welcome to Usher and Yumi's channel. So today I'm going to give my thoughts on Passing because I finally did finish it yesterday. Passing is set in the 1920s. It seems like looks like Harlem. Um, is a black and white movie. Um, it shows two characters. One character, she has a black man and two black children, and there's another character who's actually married to a white man. They meet in a parlor. Or, well, they meet in a parlor. They've been old time um, friends from long time, and their lives have taken two different uh, pathways. I will say they. The good thing about what I think of Passing is the way how it's set, the black and white um, vibe to it. Um, there is a lot of things that you can see in Passing. Also, the period dress was on point. The music was on point. Um, the two women, I can't remember the actresses' names because I didn't bother look at all that. I was just looking at the plot and what was going on around the initial um, movie itself. The movie, you have to really take a look and watch it carefully because there is a lot going on in there. They also talk about when black people used to get killed and lynched as well on spot. Hi, Christine. I'm okay. So they show a lot of that in the movie, and they also highlight that a lot of mixed race people who was very, very, very light used to pass for white. So they'd be able to get into the spots where black people was not allowed to get into. Though the movie does show little bits like the main character, I forgot her name, is it Rennie or Claire, goes to a shop. She goes to a white shop. She goes to buy some bread, and she does it in such a way that you only just see her nose and her mouth, and she's treated fairly nice because she's very fair skinned. Then she goes into a parlor, the parlor. The scene looks like a parlor. You see two couples. You see two people talking. She does a look like as though she thinks that she's detected by the people in the parlor. Um, that's how she meets the other lady, who's her longtime school friend. The scene is beautiful, set in the scene in the parlor. Really, it's a really beautiful scene. Really, really nice. It's kind of very breathtaking. Um, it's one of those movies where you have to take time and really digest what is going on because it has I feel it's encrypted some of the stuff around the movie. Um, it's a case of you trying to see what's going on with the women because it's not very clear. Um, Also, one in the thank you for that. Right. In the movie also you see oh yeah, one of the women one the woman of Renee, she speaks to I think the woman who's married to the white man, and she asks him questions. So she asks him like, do you like Negroes? And he's very stern and he says a sharp no. Um Claire is like she plays this part. She really plays this part, but she wants to be something else. You can definitely tell that she's not happy in the place that she is, and she feels that though she has been given everything and she's living the life that she wants to live, she's just not happy. She's not happy at all. Um, Let me see if I can pull out a bit more about it because I'm just talking off the top of my head. So, in the Wikipedia, Passing is a 2021 black and white drama film written, produced, and directed by Rebecca Hall in her feature debut. The film is based in the 1929 novel of the same name by Nella Leeson, and its title refers to African Americans who had skin color light enough to be presumed as white, referring as passing. The film stars Tessa Thompson, Ruth Negere, Andre Holland, Bill Camp, Annette. There's a lot of names. The film had its world premiere at the 2021 Sundance Film Festival on January the 30th, 2021, and began at a limited theatrical release on October 27th prior to Netflix. Oh, okay. Now, I'm not going to give away the whole thing because it's a lot to give away. But basically, that is the overlay of it, oversight of it. Anyways, I didn't know that they included Nella in this thing, but I'm pulling up Nella. Oops. So Nella Leeson, like Quicksand Haggard, was born to parents of different races. Her father was West Indian, her mother was Danish, and after her father died, when Leeson was two, her mother married a white man and raised Leeson in an all-white environment. Her adopted family was embarrassed by her dark skin, and Leeson always felt that she did not belong. From 1907 to 1908, she studied at a high school associated with Flask University. She left Frisk and spent the next 3 years with relatives in Denmark, auditing classes at University of Copenhagen. In 1912, she returned to the United States and pursued a nursing degree and career in New York. She married Elmer Samuel, an African American psychiatrist who worked at Frisk University. Lauren gave up nursing in 1922 and worked for the New York Public Library. She became involved in the artistic community in Harlem, and 4 years later, she decided to pursue a career as a writer, hence why she wrote the book. Lawson completed two novels, Quicksand and Passing, about a light-skinned black woman passing herself as white. It was published. I'm not going to read all that. She was associated by white pa- patrons of Harlem resistant writers Carl Van Vens, can't say his name, himself, and the author of the novel Nigger Heaven. While they that a celebration of the primitive aspects of African American culture benefited the achievement of the race, others thought that the depictions of blacks, especially black women, and others ran and other authors' works contributed to the racial identity and several limited possibilities for African American. So this is Leeson, Lena Leeson. Okay. And I'm also gonna show another one because history talks a lot of these peoples. Let's move this out the way. Now, this is the fair-skinned black actress who refused to pass in 1930s Hollywood. Funny enough, she plays in Imitation of Life. So because I read this already, she initially used to go and get drinks for her for the musicians. She go into the white areas where the musicians couldn't go into, and she'll go and get them drinks. And she um also starred, like I said, in Imitation of Life, because this was around about the Jim Crow times. So when Duke Ellington and his band toured in the segregation South in the early 1930s, they encountered racism. Whenever they went, a gorgeous black performer also travelled with the band. Frederick Freddie Washington, Lilith, Lilith the light skinned. She was pale past enough to pass as a white in the colour obsessed South. During the tour, she took advantage of her skin colour to slip into whites only ice cream parlours and buy ice cream for the entire. Washington may have used her skin colour to procure cool treats on the roads, but she refused to use it for economic and social gain. During the time of harsh segregation and overall bias against African Americans, she embraced her heritage, and while other actors of Hollywood's golden age, like Merle Oberon, who was Anglo-Indian, and Rita Hayworth, who was Spanish American, hid their features as the price of admission to the White Hollywood. Washington refused to hide behind her light skin. Born in Savannah, Georgia, Washington moved to Harlem along with her family during the Great Migration, when black families fled the Jim Crow South in search of new opportunities in northern cities. The daughter of a postal worker and a dancer, Washington had green eyes and light skin that belied the errors and the common of expectations of what an African American looked like. See, this is her. Washington knew, regardless of her looks, the errors of the construction of black race as belonged to anyone who had even a drop of black heritage meant she would always be considered African American by a white audience, unless she simply passed as white. Racially passing allowed black Americans to sidestep racism faced by black people and claim the privilege of whiteness in public spaces. The practice right the practice rights historian Robert Flicks Jr. was seen by many African Americans as a way of overwriting the system of oppression and making a laughable fools of those who condemn denounce the notions of white racial purity and supremacy, but it also alienated people from others of their culture. A black woman who passed might be considered white, but she ran the consistent risk of losing her privileges once it was discovered she was really black, and of being shunned by black people once they learned she was claiming whiteness. Turning her back on her race, Washington revealed in it. She immersed herself in the growth of Harlem Renaissance, during which her neighborhood turned into a cultural oasis and a hotbed of African American artistic production. Already a talented singer and dancer, she became a chorus girl and then an actress traveling to Europe, starring in stage productions in New York. She performed in Duke Ellington's band and had an affair with a married musician. At the time, actors had a few opportunities in Hollywood, and the majority of black people on film could be seen only in race films designed for all black audience. These who did break the movies for white audience was regard or stereotypical roles. So there is one where they show her in imitation of, well, they just show her image now. Yeah, but she was in Imitation of Life. I don't know if anybody seen Imitation of Life, where the daughter didn't want to acknowledge her black mother. I'm actually going to talk on it because I find that film really intriguing. But in passing, this is the same situation in Passing. So if anybody gets a chance to watch Passing, let me make a closer up of her. Let me do this one actually. If you get a chance to watch Passing, you can see that they go through a lot of turmoil within themselves. There's a light skinned one. In the movie, particularly, the woman who's married to the black man is like she wants to be in the place of the one who passes as white. So she's in very much turmoil in her life at that moment. It's like the woman came and she just turned something in her, like woken up something in her. Um, at first, oh yeah, there's also a part where like it looks like the husband did do something with her, but I don't know. When you watch it, it might say something else to somebody else, but it did look like it. And I think the next thing is like it seemed like the two women had a intimate time between them. I mean, so yeah, in this movie particularly, I feel yeah, though it shows the side of the story of being light skinned when you're very very light and you pass as white, sometimes you don't want to be like that. You want to be more like with the black, like in your heritage, your African heritage or African American heritage, as they say. So this movie, I'll say, yeah, it is maybe slow. It's slow to watch. So if you find it slow, it's best to cut it up in several pieces and watch it piece by piece by piece because it's one of those films where you have to really take in what is going on. I'm not going to give away the ending because you'll see how it ends. You know, the one who passed, who has the white man particularly, how that goes for her. It's quite sad. Um, it's like it's like the woman was just existing, literally existing. She just wanted to be underneath Renee. She just wanted to be underneath her a lot. She just wanted to be around her. She just wanted to be in the midst of the music, the dancing, the everything. And like I said, though it's set in black or white, it's done deliberately like that. It's not done to take away what is what. Apparently, one of the actresses, she has a mix of something in her too, as well, actually. But clearly, when you're looking at the movie, right, you can see that the one who passes as white, she's wearing some type of wig and she looks black in her features. But I think it's by using your mind, your imagination, that you could immerse yourself into the movie. Um, to some, it might be seen as rubbish, or but if you check out the history of the Harlem Renaissance as well, because I did check out the Renaissance, a lot of them they lived a I would say a goodish life, the best life they can. So those days was the high flying days in the times right about the Jim Crow times. They still had all the deaths and stuff around them, but they just had to live. So I'll say I wouldn't judge a person for doing what they had to do to survive in that notion. Give two fingers to your oppressor by going to the parties everywhere where they are, or whatever, even though some of them seem to have lost themselves in it. But, um, just that the fact that you lose yourself within another community because sometimes you're not accepted by the black, but you're not accepted by the white, which has happened to most mixed race people. So, um, yeah, I don't think there's nothing else I can say about this movie really. Let me get it up on the screen. There's nothing more to be said on the movie itself. Yeah, it's a very interesting movie. You know, can't see if I can find a fitting picture. Oh, okay. Wait a minute, I'm coming. See, the baby's up now. Baby's up. Mummy duties. I'm coming. Oh, anyway, let's show this one of the two ladies. And I think this one as well. But it is an interesting movie. I won't say don't watch it. Just watch it. Just be open minded in it. With most movies, you have to be open minded and see where the twist and turn goes. So I just thought I'd just come and just talk about the movie for a little bit. Um, I think I'm gonna do an open panel later on this evening. I don't know. I'll see how I feel. I'll put a PSA out and let people know what's going on so we could do an open panel and talk. You know, it's nice to talk to the subs, hear their voices. Yeah, basically, this movie's okay. I mean, like, to some it would be rubbish, to some it would be whatever, but you just take it in your stride with this movie. It's a slow movie. You just take it in your stride. Oh, okay, you're doing housework, right? You just take it in your stride, and just see um, what is the message it's trying to tell the audience. It's trying to tell the audience something because the lady wasn't happy. She really wasn't. She just put on the front basically. So with that said, I'm going to come off. Yeah, but hopefully I'll do an open panel uh, because there's a lot to talk about. Um, so yeah, with that said, I am gonna come off. It's gonna be a short one because I just thought let me just do this one so I could just finish off the other videos so we could get to the other side of things now. Okay. So thank you, Christine, for turning up. And yeah, have a good day, enjoy your Saturday, you know. Uh See, I've got a little sniff. But yeah, so with that said, I'll see you. Have a good day. Tell me your comments on this movie, actually. It'd be good to hear other people's opinion. I love hearing people's opinion on this thing. What's your opinions on it? What's your opinions? I really want to know because yeah, it's this very sad movie. I think the two women basically was both living the same existence. One wanted what the other one wanted, what the other one have, and the other one wanted what she had. Okay. Yeah, and you as well, Christine. But I'll see you. Just leave a comments underneath and tell me what you think of the movie if you ever do get a chance to watch it. Okay. All right then. Have a good day. Bye.